How's it going, everyone? Welcome back, and today I want to ask a question and bring up a point regarding a weapon that quite frankly I had forgotten about, and that is none other than Malfeasance, as you read from the title. I'll be honest, this weapon didn't really have much of a purpose for me since its release when it was introduced in Forsaken, but for those new players who are unaware about its existence, you can pick up the quest A Light in the Darkness from the Drifter. There are videos explaining how to get the weapon, so I'll save you the time, but it is a 180 RPM exotic hand cannon that deals 25% more damage to taken enemies. As Bungie already confirmed, a D1 raid will be joining D2 this next season, although we don't know if it'll be Crota's End, King's Fall, or Wrath of the Machine yet. This video will mainly be focused on it being King's Fall, since taken enemies make up the entirety of that whole raid. Now, is Malfeasance good? Some people say yes, while others say it's pretty underwhelming, and also adding that Ace of Spades is better for PvE enemies anyway. Although 140 RPM hand cannons are the current meta for D2, I would still like to test out its damage output against taken enemies whilst comparing it to other weapons in its class. So for starters, I grabbed a 180 RPM legendary hand cannon with explosive payload without taken spec to see the raw damage against the taken knight, and as you can clearly see, here are the damage numbers. The actual bullet hit the critical spot for a total of the damage you're seeing on screen, while the shrapnel from the bullet casing hit for the other numbers. Now for the same weapon with taken spec, our damage numbers increase to the numbers on screen. Finally, as mentioned previously, it is time to use Malfeasance to test the damage numbers, and who would have thought they're pretty similar. But if we take all the variables of the weapons used and also the mods and multiply them by the amount of bullets in the mag, these are our final numbers. Clearly, Malfeasance having 20 rounds in the mag helps its case, but is it worthy enough for an exotic slot is the question. There are some mods that help the weapon, like hand cannon loader and hand cannon dexterity for faster reload speed and ready/stow time. Presuming the King's Fall raid will take place inside of the Dreadnought or even in the Legends tab next to Vault of Glass and Prophecy. Armor pieces such as the Dreaming City gear that rolls with Riven's Curse for more damage in the Dreaming City location will not work. It is also unclear if the raid will contain champions for master mode. If it were to have it like Vault of Glass, that would be really cool. Or if the seasonal artifact will contain hand cannon mods like Overload, Unstoppable, or even Anti-Barrier like previous seasons. One good thing about this is that you'll be able to use weapons like Hothead Adept or Storm Chaser, but things like Witherhoard, Aegir Scepter, and even Osseous Trigger for encounters inside of that raid do a little bit more damage. But one thing that it has going for it is that the weapon is still pretty fucking fun to use, and let's be real here. As you can see from the background footage of the gameplay, you can basically one-shot taken enemies pretty easily, but the ones that you can't one-shot, if you hit them 5 to 6 times in the head or the chest, it doesn't really matter where you hit them, all the slugs that are attached to them explode, making them receive an additional 18 to 22,000 damage. Paired with the 20 rounds per mag, our mods, better reload speed and ready speed, this makes Malfeasance do a good amount of damage at the cost of nothing, while keeping space for other legendary heavy weapons like Hothead Adept like I mentioned, or Storm Chaser, a sword to get through the encounters quicker. There's a chance this weapon might shine next season with more mods or armor pieces, but for now there's still quite the amount of room for improvement, thus making this weapon sit at a comfortable 7 out of 10 for me for its overall practicality, especially inside of a raid.